Alhamdulillah. Welcome to our series on the lawful and the unlawful in Islam. MashaAllah. There's Brother Alam. Brother Alam, where have you been? It's been a long time since I've seen Brother Alam here. How you been doing? How's your family, Brother Alam? Everybody's okay? Nobody got popped? Nobody imprisoned or none of that crazy stuff that's going on today? People getting popped, they dropping like they hot. The family's okay, Brother Alam. MashaAllah, it's so good to see him back in here. Yeah, so alhamdulillah, guys, this is our series on the lawful and the unlawful. And as I was telling you guys yesterday, it's so important for us as Muslims to learn what the lawful things are in life and what the unlawful things are. You know, we talked about the lawful and unlawful in regards to food, in regards to women's issues, men's issues. What about this? This is a new one, guys. Is it haram? Is it haram to take medicine? This is a new one. A lot of Muslims are asking me. They're saying, Sister Laila, I was told that it's haram. Don't take the medicine because it's a conspiracy to kill the Muslims. And in Islam, all we need to do is recite the Quran and make dua, and Allah will take care of our illnesses. How would you respond to something like that, guys? How would you respond to something like that? What would you say to a Muslim that tells you that? Anyone?
I would say it's not true. And that where is it at that Allah said that? Where's your proof? Who told you that? Allah said take the treatment.
Exactly. I want y'all to understand that whenever a person tells you that something is haram to do, or something is haram, period, you have to make them people hold them to account. They have to bring the clear evidence to prove it. Did Allah say it's haram to take medicine? And if he did say that, then there would be a verse of the Quran. Did the Prophet say that? If he did, there would be an authentic hadith. There would be hadiths from the companions about it. Instead, we find the opposite. You find the opposite. The Prophet ﷺ told us that medicine, the medicine comes from Allah. Allah is the one that gives us the knowledge of how to make medicine. And when Allah sends it, we should take it. The Prophet made the companions get checkups. They went to see the doctor. And whatever medicines they had available at that time is what they took. Honey was their medicine. Black seed was their medicine. Camel's urine was their medicine. Nowadays, we don't have to drink camel's urine. We got penicillin. We don't even need the black seed and honey. We got penicillin. Allah gave us the knowledge of penicillin and the different psyllins that help fight infections. Okay? So, you know, this is not true when people tell you that. What about this? It's haram for us to have beautiful homes. It's haram to decorate your house in a beautiful way. Is that true or not? It's haram for us to decorate our homes in a beautiful way because this is imitating the kafir. Is that true? This is showing a love for the life of this world. Is that true? We can't have beautiful homes as Muslims. It's haram for us to have a nice house, a nice car, nice clothing. What would you say to someone that tells you that?
Assalamu alaikum, Sister Laila.
Wa alaikum salam.
I would say that Allah loves beauty and he loves cleanliness as well. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, having nice things or you know, decorating your home and to be nice.
Good job. Exactly. If it's haram to have nice things, Allah would tell us. So again, when people come to you with that, you have to throw it back at them and tell them, bring you the clear evidence. Bring you the clear evidence. Hold on for a second. I got to take this because if I don't, it's going to be a problem. Assalamu alaikum, Sabrine. I'm doing a class. Where you at?
Yeah, I'm trying to, I'm at home. I'm saying.
Where were you at earlier?
Doing the lawful and the unlawful?
Yeah, where were you at earlier?
I was on the phone with Naima.
Oh, you finally, because Fresno said that's her phone number. You wasn't dialing it right.
Don't tell me I wasn't dialing it right. I was dialing it right.
Well, why come it didn't work?
I have no idea, but it worked then.
Oh, well, where you at now? You need me to send you the link?
Yes, please.
Okay, y'all hear that? The people are asking about that's Sabrine, Pamela, Jamila, Margaret, Brother Alan. They all was asking about you. Where's Sabrine been? Well, there she is, y'all. She needs me to send her the link. Her computer's not fixed. Okay, I'm gonna hang up and I'm gonna send you the link. You click on it, okay? I'm gonna message it to you. Okay. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
There's Sabrine. She's fine. Now, why come the message didn't work? It didn't work before Fresno, but now it does. Fresno? There you go. I
have no idea.
All right. Well, I sent her the link now. All right. Now I got to edit that out too. Y'all remind me to edit this one. Oh, I got a lot of editing. My allergies. What is it that's got my allergies running? My eyes are running and my nose. That's why my eyes swollen up. Okay. So again, like I was saying, whenever somebody tells you that something is haram, guys, they have got to send the clear proof. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the lawful and the unlawful things have been clearly defined by Allah. Clearly means, for example, if you're going to tell me it's haram for me to wear makeup, if it's haram for me to wear makeup, then you have to give the verse from the Quran that says, thou shalt not wear makeup. You can't give me a verse that says, oh, believing women, draw your veils over your bosom and tell me that that means I can't wear makeup. Draw your veils over your bosom means cover my breasts when I walk out the house. It doesn't mean, it mentions nothing about makeup. Okay, it has to be a clear verse. And this is the problem of today. A lot of Muslims misinterpret the words of Allah. They'll read the Quran and twist the words around. Just like when Allah says, oh, you women who believe, do not stomp your feet for attention like you did before Islam. He's talking about prostitution, about how the Arabic women would go to the market and they would stomp their feet so that the bangles that they wear would jingle to get the attention of men so they could pick them up, prostitute. We women can't do that. We can't go to the marketplace trying to get attention, being loud, rambunctious, stomping our feet, jingle janging like you women do when you go to those Islamic conferences. Let's just talk about it. How many of you sisters go to those Islamic conferences? And y'all stand around and y'all be stomping and jingling and laughing loud and trying to get the attention of the men so you can get paid and laid. Y'all know what I'm talking about. We can't do that. That's a form of prostituting yourself. As Muslim women, when we leave the home, we can't bring unnecessary attention to ourselves. That's what Allah is telling us. But see, this is the problem. You will never understand what Allah is saying in that Quran until you learn the explanation that the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam gave us in those hadiths. Every verse was sent down because something happened. And the Prophet Muhammad explains the meaning of every verse and what happened. That's why Aisha, radiallahu anha, she was a stickler on history. She was one of the first scholars of Islam. She had over 200 students, okay? And she was one of the first scholars. And one of the things she emphasized is what I emphasize as a daya to you. Know the history. Know the history. Know what happened to make Allah say this. Know what happened to cause the prophet to do that. Okay? We don't know history. That's why we're lost as Muslims today. And because we don't know history, we misconstrue the words of Allah. We make things haram that Allah didn't make haram. We make things lawful that he didn't make lawful. Because we don't know this history. We don't know the story behind it. Okay, so we have to learn the lawful and the unlawful. And the only way we're going to learn the lawful and the unlawful is by knowing the story behind it. That's why my class, I'm teaching this, is based on the hadiths. The hadiths I'm giving you, give you the history behind it. Okay, so we're talking about business transactions. Business transactions, the lawful and the unlawful in regards to business. Is it lawful? Let me ask y'all a question before we go to today's lecture. This is from yesterday. Is it lawful to have a monopoly? Is it lawful to monopolize a product in Islam? Is it lawful for me to monopolize a product? What does that mean? That means I go to the grocery store and I buy up all the milk in the whole state, the whole city. You can only buy milk unless you come to me. I got the monopoly on milk. Is that lawful in Islam? Why or why not? Who can answer that? Is it lawful? Is it lawful for me to monopolize, buy up all the milk in the state of Ohio, and I'm the one that has it all? So I can set my price to be whatever I want it to be. Is this lawful in Islam? Yes or no?
No, it's not lawful.
Why not?
Because you're only supposed to buy what you need and not take away from what all the rest of the people is having. You're only supposed to get what you need.
Okay, yeah, but what about this? If I want to be a businesswoman, why come I can't buy up all the milk in the state of Ohio and y'all got this and I can set my price? Why come I can't do that? What is that? If I did that, what's wrong with it?
It's unjust.
Yeah, it's unjust. And what's it called in business? You're answering the questions. Good job, Mina. This is called hoarding. This is another way of hoarding. Yes, exactly. It's unlawful because it's greed. It's unjust. And me setting the price I want it to be, we can't do that. And that's the problem I have with Spectrum. I can't stand Spectrum, but unfortunately, that's the only internet service available. Spectrum, they're good at that monopolizing. Every time a new apartment complex is built, they get the contract where only they can do internet. Where I live at, there's no AT&T, there's no DirecTV, there's no Cox cable. The only internet, if you live where I live and in my apartment complex, is Spectrum. You can't change it if you want to. And their prices are ridiculous. I'm paying over $100 a month for my internet. And I don't even have TV. No TV. Just internet, high speed. Because I need to have the highest speed for this website. So by them having a monopoly, AT&T can't come in here and contract. DirecTV can't. So Spectrum can set their price. And their price for the highest speed is the business account. And the business account is $100 and something a month, whether you like it or not. If I go to a lower speed, I can't upload and download and stream at the same time. I got to upload, download, and stream simultaneously. I can't do that. That's why it's haram. It's unjust. You make people poor. You oppress them. Islam is against that monopolizing and that hoarding and all of that. So that's what we spoke about yesterday. Well, today we're going to speak about another thing that people do when it comes to business transactions that's haram. And let me put it. Oh, here it is. Where's my PowerPoint? Okay, here it is. Can y'all see? Yeah. Here it is. Oh, what happened to my PowerPoint? Wait a minute. Y'all don't know this has been a crazy day for me. There it is. Today we're going to speak about more business transactions that are haram, that many Muslims unfortunately indulge in or engage in. And we're going to start off with, and I love this picture. I wished I was in the mountains or out in the woods right now. This could make me so happy to be like this, living off the grid. I want to be off the grid for a couple of weeks, y'all. Another form of hoarding or monopolizing is a townsman, a person that lives in the city, selling on behalf of a person that lives in the country or the desert. Okay, how can I be a broker for you? The cost of living is different in the city than it is in the country. The country, it's milk and butter and cheese is cheaper in areas like this because it's homegrown. I live in a big city. I'm going to pay more. So this is why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade this. As Anas tells us, sale by a resident on behalf of a desert person was forbidden to us, even though he might be your brother. Even if my brother was a broker, the fact that I live in the city and he lives in the country means that he can't sell on my behalf, because he's going to sell based on what the cost of living is where he is and not where I am. So that's why the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said a person of the town must not sell on behalf of a person in the desert. If people are left alone, Allah will give them provisions from one another. So we can sell to each other in the city. We can sell to each other in the country, but I can't charge the same prices to a person in the desert or the country as I would the one that's not. Okay? So you cannot be a broker for them. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said the resident should not be a broker for him if you live in the city and he lives in the desert. Does everybody understand that? We can give advice. Like, say, for example, you're a farmer and you want to know how much to sell your eggs for. You can ask a person in the city how much they sell theirs for, because the religion is good advice. Okay. But that person in the city can't represent you. Okay. Does everybody understand that? This is just of justice. As you guys said, as Mina said, Islam is all about justice, guys. We have to be just in our interactions with each other. Okay. Also, there are some cases in which brokerage, being a broker, is permissible. For example, cases that facilitate profitable transactions for at least one of them or for both of them is lawful. Okay, but I can't sit there and represent you, You know, when my cost of living is, and what I know to be the cost of things is a great difference from yours. Does everybody understand that? And another question that I get a lot of as a daya, a lot of people ask me about commissions. Is it lawful in Islam to take commissions? And I was listening to this a Q&A from some famous celebrity. It's a bunch of them. They come a dime a dozen. Give me a dime and I'll give you a dozen famous celebrities. Somebody asked this famous celebrity that question, you know, is it lawful? They said, lie. This is interest. This is interest. I'm like, what? And where's his dalil? Well, I'm getting ready to answer the question about commission, and I want y'all to pay attention. There is nothing wrong with a broker charging a commission for his services. That's the correct answer. And I'm not getting this off no fatwa Q&A. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, back in his days, they had brokers. Back in his days, they had interest. Back in his days, people gave tips. Back in his days, people charged commission. The hadiths answer this for us. The commission can be a fixed amount and it can be proportional. It can be whatever the parties involved agree upon. Where's my dalil? Well, I don't care what Imam Hanifa has to say. Al-Bukhari is right there in Al-Bukhari. Ibn Sirin, Atta, Ibrahim, and Hassan. They saw nothing wrong with commissions charged by brokers. Ibn Abbas said, there is no harm if one person says to another, sell this garment. And if you sell it for more than such and such amount of money, you can keep the extra. That's commission. That is not interest. We don't know what interest is. If I tell Amina Fresno, sell this hijab for $10. But if somebody wants to buy it for more than 10, you can keep it. So let's say she take it to the mosque. One sister wants to buy it, but another sister says, wait a minute, I'll buy this from you for 20. So Amina sells it to the sister for 20 and she keeps the 10. That is not interest. That's a commission. And this is lawful. And I just gave y'all the dalil. Ibn Sirin said, there is nothing wrong if a person says, sell it for this price and keep the profit, or the profit can be shared between you and me. There's nothing wrong with that. And the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, the Muslims must abide by their terms. These hadiths are all authentic. These hadiths can be all found in Sahih Bukhari. So I don't know where these brothers get off telling y'all that it's interest. Interest entails borrowing and paying back. Interest has nothing to do with a tip or commission. Everybody understand that? I'm not borrowing any money from you. You just told me I can keep the profit, or I can keep what goes over the agreed price. That's not interest. That's a commission. I'm giving you a commission for working for me. Take this hijab. All I want is $10 for it. But if you sell it for more than 10, you keep the money. That's not borrowing. Everybody understand that? That's lawful. I give you a jilbab. Sell it. I want at least $50 for it. But if you can sell it for more than 50, you keep what's over that. That's commission. It's lawful. Everybody got it? And there's your dalil. I don't know where these brothers get off. Y'all need to stop hopping around. That's what you do. There's a lot of hopping around on the internet. You're going to hop around from YouTube channel to YouTube channel, asking the same question to a bunch of people that you don't know personally, who you think are scholars when they just famous personalities who don't know the basics. Remember, we're living in the days of Ruwaybida. Who are the Ruwaybida? They got a lot to say about the political situation in Iran, the political situation in Palestine. But ask them the basics, like what are the pillars of the prayer? They don't know. Ask them, can I take a commission? Can I work for commission? They don't know. A lot of people liked working for commission. You know, just tell me how much you want me to sell this for. If I can get at least $100, then you're happy. Anything over 100 is for me. That's going to make me work even harder. I'm going to take that jilbab. I'm going to get out there, hey, and try to get to whatever the highest price I can get so that your needs are met and mine. That is not haram. Subhanallah. Sad state we are in today. And there it is, Bukhari. What about exploitation and fraud? Well, to prevent the manipulation of the market, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam forbade what is known in Arabic as najish or najash. Najish. I don't know. My Egyptian sisters, correct me. I don't see it in Arabic, so I'm just reading it the way it's written here. Ibn Umar explained that najash, however you say it signifies someone's bidding for an item more than its price without having any intention of buying it, but to induce others to bid higher. You know what he's talking about? An auction. This is done to deceive others. How many of your masjids do this? You want to talk about the war in Palestine? Let's talk about this. How many masjids here in America have auctions to raise money? And there are people who are bidding and they have no intentions on buying nothing. They're just doing it to incite you to pay $10,000 for the mosque, to give the mosque $10,000. Somebody puts an old chair up. Let's start the bid off 100. I ain't buying it. It's 100. Another person, 150. 500. 550. 1,000. 1,050. 2,000. This is haram. Those type of auctions are haram. If you have no intention of buying anything, you're just there, like a lot of these masjids do. They have a person there to just induce you. This is haram. And a lot of these Muslim masjids do that. I see it. Where's the dalil? Ibn Umar gave us this hadith, and also you will find this hadith in Muslim, Ahmed, and Majah. Among the varieties of measures that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam took to keep business transactions as far removed as possible from exploitation and fraud was his prohibition of people going out of town to buy merchandise, which was on its way to the market, telling them to wait until it was bought into the market. This is another thing too. You know, you don't want to, you know, a caravan is coming with goods. So you want to go and meet the caravan before it gets to town so you can pick over it and get the good stuff. How many of us do that too? Let's say the mosque is having an auction. Let's say that the mosque is having an auction. The auction is supposed to begin at 1 o'clock. You get there at 12 and see what is there so you can put your bid in before everybody else on what you want. This is haram. You wait till the time of the auction. You wait till the time till the caravan arrives in the city, so everybody has a fair chance at getting the best stuff, the most beautiful stuff. You guys understand that? A lot of these mosques have fundraisers and they're not Islamic, as you can see. This is a big problem. A lot of these mosques, you know, I just shake my head and I say, and you guys wonder why Allah is sending his punishment and his wrath? My God, you guys are violating the basics and the lawful and unlawful in business transactions. Okay? Also, if a person does buy some of his merchandise in this manner, the seller has the option of canceling the transaction after arriving at the marketplace. So let's say, for example, we have an auction at the mosque at 1 o'clock, but there are some people that come in and put their bid in on stuff at 12 because they want to get the best stuff. The seller can cancel it. Oh, this is haram. Who did this? Oh, no, we're not doing that. The seller can cancel all that. Okay? See how Islam, I tell you guys, for those of you new joining my classes and following me, Islam is not just a religion. It is a way of life. It is a way of life that has been perfected for us by Allah, demonstrated to us by the Prophet and his companions, sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We have to get back to the basics of learning our religion. We have to stop all this celebrity drooling. We have to stop all these popularity contests following. We have to stop all this other stuff and learn the basics. You need to learn what it means to believe in Allah and how to worship him alone. That's Aqidah, Tawheed. Then you need to learn how to pray, how to perform the obligations correctly. And then you need to learn what the lawful and the unlawful things are in life. Those are the three things you need to concentrate on. Okay? Not all this other crap that y'all into. Okay? This politics, this debating, and all this other dumb stuff that has nothing to do with taking you to paradise. All right. So, what else? I want you guys to know Islam did away with injustice. Allah hates deception. Allah hates a liar. Allah hates a cheat. In fact, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever deceives us is not of us. That doesn't mean that you're a kafir. But what he's saying is the person, the Muslim that goes around deceiving other people, lying to other people, cheating other people, they're not of us. They still have Jahiliyyah or pre-Islam in them. You still have a lot of Christianity in you, okay? You still have a lot of backwardness in you. You got to work on changing the condition of yourself to that which is pleasing to Allah. If you want to be amongst the true believers, you have to be a person of dignity, humility, and balance. You have to be a person of Tawheed. You have to be a person of justice. You have to be a person of fairness. And you have to be a person of strength. Otherwise, you're not like us. You want to be like us. You're what we would call a wannabe. But you're not there yet. Okay, you got a lot of growing to do. It's not saying that you're a kafir. It's just that you're weak and got a lot of growing to do. Everybody understand these hadiths. We don't refer to other Muslims as being kafirs ever. Nor do we refer to them as being hypocrites ever. We just say they're weak. That's all. You're just weak. You got a lot of growth to do. You'll get there. If you're sincere and wanting to be of us, you'll get there. That's what the Prophet was saying. but you got a way to go. Like he told Abu Dar, when Abu Dar got into an argument with Umar, and he called with Bilal, and he called Bilal the son of a black slave woman. The Prophet said, "Oh, Abu Dar, you still have a lot of jahiliyyah in you. You still have a lot of pre-Islam in you. You still got a long way to go. Whoever does that to a person, demeans a person in that way, is not of us." He wasn't calling Abu Dar kafir. He said, "You're not of us. You have to change that. Change that." Allah doesn't help a person unless a person changes the condition of himself. You have to take on the identity and the character of a true believing Muslim. A Muslim is a person who's in submission to Allah. You're not in submission to Allah when you're calling your Muslim brother out of his name like that. You're not in submission to Allah if you're so envious of your Muslim sister that you slander her. You're not in submission to Allah and his rules. So he wasn't calling, you're not a kafir or a hypocrite. You just got some work to do. And Abu Dar worked on that. He never referred to anybody out there named after that. Okay, we have to be like those companions. The hadiths are the examples for us. We have to work on changing ourselves. So we can't be deceptive. We can't be cheaters. We can't be dishonest. We can't be liars and say that we're in submission to Allah. Change your character. All right. So I can't see my screen because of this Zoom thing. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam taught us that both parties to a business transaction have a right to cancel that transaction as long as they're still together. If they tell the truth and make everything clear, Allah will bless their business transaction. But if they lie and conceal anything, then the blessing will not be there. So in other words, if I'm going to sell you a garment, and I like the way Jamila Pasha does it. You guys look at Sister Jamila Pasha. When she sells her garments, her bayas or whatever she's selling, she'll tell you this one has a tear on it. She'll let you know this one has a little tear on it, so I'm going to take a couple of dollars off. Or she'll say this has a small stain on it, I'm going to take a few dollars off. You know, if you're selling a car, you know, the car runs well, but sometimes the battery might stall on you. You know, you let the person know what the, be honest, let them know what the deficiency is. Even when you get married, hello, let's break it home for you guardians. A man approaches you wanting to marry your daughter, and this is a man that you would agree to marry her to, but you let him know, okay, she's a good woman. My daughter's a good girl. She loves Allah. She loves the Prophet, but she's got a temper problem. Let him know my daughter has a temper problem. Norto. She's a good girl. She's caring. She's got a big heart. Okay? She'll do anything in the world for you. But she ain't going to put up with you yelling at her. You yell at her, she might punch you. Let him know. Okay? My son, and you tell the women the truth too. My son is seeking your daughter's hand in marriage. He got a good job. He knows his responsibilities towards Allah. He knows his responsibilities towards a woman, but he got a problem with his prayers. But he's got mental problems. This is a big issue. We talked about the lawful and unlawful in regards to marriage already. But a big problem when it comes to marriage is a lot of Muslims have mental problems, and you are not telling. You know that your daughter is bipolar. You hid it. Well, guess what? Just like the prophet is saying here, you know, if you know that something that you're selling has a defect and you hide it, Allah doesn't bless you. The same in marriage. You knew that your daughter was bipolar, but you didn't tell that man. Guess what? That's grounds for divorce. When he marries her, and the first time she flips out because she ain't took her medicine, he can take her and bring her on back home to you and said, you lied and didn't tell me your daughter was mentally ill. So here she's back. The same with the woman. You withheld the information that your son is schizophrenic. So my daughter married him and he went schizo on her. So guess what? Kula, I'm divorcing her from you. And I'm taking my daughter home. So whenever we deceive somebody, the blessing is gone. Y'all understand that? And we got to be more honest in our dealings with each other, not just because marriage is a business contract too. Marriage is a business contract, the same that selling is. We have to be honest in our dealings. Okay? What is, okay, sisters, okay, yes. Okay, wait a minute. Let me read this. I got a sister here on Trovo asking me a question. Yeah, go ahead, sister. I'll stop for a minute. Okay, she's saying, okay, I'm gonna answer your question. Yes, every time we talk about marriage, I give a marriage example. It turns into marriage questions. Here we go. Okay, say a person like me, Sister Iman. Iman, that's your name? May Allah bless you. I love your name, Iman, faith. Okay, say that a man wants to marry me. Okay, I'm going to let him know. My guardian will let him know too, but I'm going to let him know because I'm a woman that's been married before. A little bit different. For us women that's been married before, we can speak. Okay, I'll let any guy know. I'm going to tell you something. My dawah is my life. I let every man that if I marry him, let him know. You want to marry me? Understand that this is my life, dawah. I'm committed to Allah first and foremost, and then you, and then you. But first and foremost is Allah. Don't try to stop me from sitting up here teaching my classes because this is me. But I know how to hold, when to hold, and I know when to fold. I'm not going to be stuck up on this internet all day and night like I am now because I know that you my man and I got to take care of you. Yeah, so you see what I'm saying? You let the man know, sister. She's asking me, is that in the case of us women, when we get married, should we let the man know? Yes, you let him know. I would let him know this isn't about me. I'm a good woman. I fear Allah and I know my job as a wife. I'm going to get up here and teach my classes. I do 2 classes a day. I'll tell him. I do a 6 o'clock class and I do a 9 o'clock class every day. That's set in gold. But do you think I'm going to be on here all night long like I am now? Doing videos? Oh, that ain't happening. No, that's your time. Okay, but don't try to stop me from doing my 6 and my 9 dawah. The rest of the time is you. I'll cater the rest of my life around you, but not those 2 things. So yeah, you sisters, the same thing. Let them know. In your case, okay, your case, you want to work. She's saying she wants to work. What type of job you got? You want to work? Oh, okay, well, that's different. Okay, she works in a health profession. That's different. Yeah, you let the man know. Let the man know up front, you know, I'm a good woman. I'll be a good wife, but, you know, I work in the health field and I would like to keep my job in the health field. Let them know up front, guys. You don't spring it on them after the fact. Do you sisters understand? Am I clear on Trovo here? Okay, good job. Okay, so you got, yeah. So even marriage is a business contract too. In all of our business transactions, guys, we got to be honest. You can't go into a marriage to deceive somebody, just like you can't sell a car under the guidance of deception. Okay, here's another question here. What about the donations that the people bring for others who are poor, but some who are not in need of it goes in and grabs the things? The same thing. And that's the same thing, Sister Mina. Exactly. You know, you need to stop them from doing that. You know, you taking in donations for people who are poor, but the people that don't need them gonna come in and get the good stuff. This is haram. This is the same thing. This is deception. You know, this is for the poor people. We pass out donations at 12 o'clock. Should nobody be coming in there to take nothing before then? And it should go out to the people who you donating to. Otherwise, you're losing your blessings. You're just doing it. You ain't doing it for the sake of Allah. You're doing it for yourself to see what you can walk away with. Y'all understand that? This is haram. Okay, the sisters here said this is a good class because they didn't know that. Okay, one of the sisters here says that's what they have, a donation pantry. They have a food pantry. And some of the sisters do that. They'll come in and take the good stuff, the cereal. She said they'll come in and take the cereal for themselves before they pass it out. And that ain't even for them. That's for the poor, not for you. Yeah, this is haram. Why are y'all allowing people to come into your food pantry and take the stuff? That ain't for them. This is wrong. Yeah, that's not just. Yeah, so y'all got to stop that. That's haram. And this is why Allah sends war. More examples. Allah sends war to cleanse the earth of bad, corrupt people. Allah doesn't like deception. This is why he's giving us this wake-up call. Okay. Also, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it is not permissible to sell an article without making everything clear about it, nor is it permissible for anyone who knows its defects to refrain from mentioning them. We have the hadith whereas the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam passed by a grain merchant and he put his hand into the heap of grain and found that the grain at the bottom was wet. He said, "What is this?" He said, "Put it on the top so that the people know that some of the grain was wet." Why deceive the people? Whoever deceives us is not one of us. You knew that it rained last night. You knew that your grain was wet, but instead of you putting the wet stuff on top, you're going to cover it up with the dry grain. How many of y'all do that at the mosque? How many of you brothers and sisters have fundraisers at the mosque and y'all do that? You cover up the bad with the good so the people don't know what they're getting. Deception. Anytime we do injustice, Allah brings wrath. Okay? Also, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, sell the good stuff and the bad stuff separately. Whoever is not of us, who deceives is not of us. In other words, let's say, for example, I'm selling some grain. Put the wet grain to the side by itself so you can charge a different price for it. Put the good grain over here and charge a different price. Y'all see? Do like Pasha, the deceptive hijab. I mean, the hijabs that have flaws. Sister Pasha will separate them from the hijabs that don't. The good hijabs are here, and she's going to charge you $15 for these good ones. But these here have some flaws on them, so she's going to charge $10. Separate them. The Prophet taught us that separate the good quality stuff from the defective kind and sell them separate. Okay, don't deceive the people and sell them all at the same price. Okay, we have another hadith when Ibn Sirin sold a sheep. he told the buyer, I want to tell you about this sheep. It kicks the fodder. So that way you know that this is a sheep that's going to kick over its fodder. And when Ibn Sali sold a slave girl, he told the buyer she coughed up some blood. So she might be sick with tuberculosis or something. Okay, so even if you had a slave that you were selling, and the days will come back when we have slaves again. If you know that this person's a good worker, or even now we don't have slaves, but this is a person that works for you. Yeah, he's a good worker. He's a good employee. He comes to work on time. He does his job. But one thing about him, sometimes he falls to sleep, asleep standing. Let him know the defects. He'll fall asleep standing. Sign of sleep apnea. Hello. A lot of my co-workers, I used to be that way too. I could stand. I used to fall asleep talking. Oh, I sure did. Third shift does that to you, baby cakes. So you let the people know their defects. Let them know the defects. Okay. Also, another thing that Islam forbids is swearing. Swearing that your items is the best in the world. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said swearing that your products are the best may get people to buy from you, but it's going to remove any blessings from Allah. Okay? You don't want to say that I got the best grapes in the world. Nobody's grapes are as sweet as mine. I swear by Allah, my produce is better than anybody else's. We can't do that in Islam. Allah says, give full measure when you measure and weigh in the straight balance. And that's the most fitting and best in the final determination. Don't sit there swearing. He also says, woe to the people who defraud. Those who, when they take the measure from people, they take it in full. But when they measure for them or weigh for them, they fall short. So we have to do good when it comes to our weight and measurement, and don't sit around swearing by Allah that our items are the best in the world. I never hear Jamila Pasha say that, you know. Oh, I got the best hijabs you'll ever find on earth. She never says that. She'll say, I got good hijabs and I try to get them to you at a good price. I haven't seen anybody's prices better than mine, but that's what can say that I haven't seen. But she's never swearing that her prices are the best. Okay? You guys get it. All right. So, finally, every Muslim should know this. And I want to talk to these American Muslims here. Let's talk about it. Islam forbids buying stolen property. I know. Let's talk about it. Getting ready to hit some toes here. You know that computer was stolen. I need a new computer. Let me go over here and hit up my cousin. Because, you know, he sells stolen stuff. Tell him to give me one of them stolen computers. I can get it for $2. We cannot buy stolen goods. You know that I'm a booster. Oh, yeah. And I boosted all these hijabs. So let me go to Sister Laila and get some of those hijabs that she done stole from the store. This is haram in Islam. Okay? The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever buys the stolen property knowing that it was stolen, you share in the sin and shame of the person that did it. So you get the same sin. Allah is going to raise you up as a thief because you contributed to that. Remember, as Muslims, we enjoin the good and forbid the evil. We don't take part in what's evil. Just because my items are hot, you ain't gonna come over here and buy from me. You know, it's the same as if you stole them. So if you see a peddler on the street, you walk past, hey, sis. Oh, hey, sis. He opened up his coat. He got these gold watches. He got the Givenchy perfume. He got the Air Jordans. And you know he stole that stuff. He's a peddler who done stole, boosted, and stole. And he gonna offer you a cheap price. And you buy the stuff anyway. You're gonna answer to Allah for that. That's haram, people. That is haram. We can't do that as Muslims. Does everyone understand? All right. So we're going to stop right here for today. And I hope that those of you who are new listening to me and joining me understand that Islam is not just a religion. It's a way of life. And being that it's a way of life, the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us how to live our lives every day, how to buy, how to sell, how to eat, how to sleep, how to have sexual relations with your mate, how to go to the bathroom, how to pray, how to cry, how to mourn the dead, how to make dua and call upon Allah, how to handle yourself in times of hardship. That's why Islam is complete, because it's not just a religion, it's a way of life. We just have to learn it. Okay, so I'm going to stop right here.